Hollow Knight Silksong, an indie game that broke the internet. Not because it launched, not because of a trailer, not because of a release date, but because millions of people kept showing up for something that never arrived. Hollow Knight Silksong became one of the most talked about games of the decade without ever being released. No marketing blitz, no constant updates, no hype management, just silence. And somehow, that silence caused memes, platform overloads, wishlist explosions, and moments where online stores slowed down not from downloads, but from anticipation. So how did this happen? To understand that, we need to start with trust. When Hollow Knight released, it wasn't expected to dominate gaming culture. It was created by a small indie team, no massive publisher, no celebrity marketing, no live service roadmap. What it had was care. Players discovered tight combat, interconnected world design, emotional music, and lore buried so deep that curiosity itself became gameplay. Updates were generous. DLCs were often free. Nothing felt rushed or unfinished. Slowly, Hollow Knight earned something most games never do: belief. Players trusted the developers to prioritize quality over speed. So when Silksong was announced, excitement didn't just rise, it locked in. After the announcement, updates slowed, then nearly stopped. Months passed, then years. In most cases, this is where hype collapses. People lose interest, communities turn angry, silence turns into resentment. But Silksong did the opposite. The less information there was, the louder the conversation became. As time passed, Silksong stopped being a game people were waiting for. It became an event that happened over and over again. Every Nintendo Direct, every Xbox showcase, every major gaming presentation. Live chats filled with one word: Silksong. Before the events even started, chat spammed it. During unrelated trailers, chat spammed it again. After events ended, chat spammed it again. The game didn't need to appear. Its absence was the joke and the tradition. At this stage, silence stopped being empty. Silence became content. Fans analyzed everything. A vague sentence, a background logo, a store page timestamp. Fake leaks spread within minutes. Fake countdowns appeared knowing they were fake. Memes evolved into shared language. And something unusual happened. People weren't angry. They were enjoying the wait together. This is where Silksong crossed from popular into internet breaking. Whenever Silksong briefly appeared in official metadata, showcase listings, or store backends, traffic surged instantly. Wishlist numbers spiked so aggressively that third-party tracking sites lit up overnight. Social media timelines flooded at the same time. On Steam, users reported slow refreshes, delayed page loads, and storefront hiccups during moments when Silksong activity spiked, not from downloads, but from millions of people opening the same page at once. No release, no purchase button, just curiosity overwhelming the system. That's rare. Most store crashes happen on launch days. Silksong caused pressure without even launching. Silksong consistently climbed Steam's wishlist rankings, often sitting above fully released AAA games. That almost never happens. Most titles require marketing budgets, influencers, demos, paid visibility. Silksong needed none of that. People weren't buying the game. They were reserving emotional space for it. At this point, the obvious question is, why didn't this end badly? Gaming history is full of long waits that turned ugly. Missed dates, broken promises, angry fanbases. Silksong avoided that fate for one reason. Team Cherry never broke trust. They didn't announce dates and miss them. They didn't tease features they couldn't guarantee. They didn't rush an unfinished product. They stayed quiet. And that restraint mattered. In an industry where silence often signals trouble, this silence felt deliberate, protective, respectful. Over time, waiting stopped feeling like a delay. It became part of the experience. Memes weren't complaints, they were traditions. Clown emojis weren't insults, they were shared expectations. Disappointment wasn't rage, it was comedy. The community wasn't fighting the developers, they were waiting with them. That's incredibly rare online. At some point, Silksong escaped its own genre. People who never played Hollow Knight knew the memes. People outside indie gaming recognized the name. Live chats referenced it constantly. Silksong existed everywhere, except on hard drives. That's when it truly broke the internet. Not with controversy, not with outrage, but with omnipresence. Most modern games follow the same pattern: teasers, trailers, developer diaries, influencer campaigns. Silksong did the opposite. No constant reminders, no artificial urgency, no hype management. And that made it feel honest. Instead of chasing attention, it let attention pile up naturally until it overloaded chats, timelines, and storefronts. Of course, this kind of anticipation carries risk. The longer the wait, the higher the expectations. Silksong doesn't just need to be good, it needs to justify years of imagination. Every mechanic will be analyzed, every design choice questioned, every flaw magnified. But because trust still exists, many players are willing to accept imperfection, as long as the game feels finished and intentional. That's the power of credibility. When Silksong finally releases, it won't feel like a normal launch. It won't just be a game going live on a store. It will be the end of a decade-long internet narrative. Wishlists will convert instantly. Store traffic will spike again, this time for real. Memes will stop overnight. Silence will finally end. Silksong proved something important about modern gaming culture. Hype doesn't always come from noise. Marketing doesn't always need saturation. And silence, when paired with trust, can be powerful enough to slow down platforms. It showed that players still value patience, still respect restraint, still believe in craft. Most games break the internet when they release. Silksong broke it by waiting, by letting anticipation grow naturally, by letting the community write the story, by letting silence speak, loudly enough to echo across chats, timelines, and stores. And when the game finally arrives, it won't just be remembered for how it plays, it will be remembered for how it waited. If you enjoy deep dives into gaming culture, internet phenomena, and the stories behind iconic games, subscribe for more awesome content.